Drugs should be legal. All drugs should be legal, especially drugs like cocaine and like heroin and like street drugs that people just attain. They don't have to like go to a store or something like that. They're like actual drugs. They should be legal. I mean, like, sure, like cocaine is, if like I were to go out and like buy a kilo of coke and like, do you think I would care if I was selling it to people that like had narcolepsy or something and like needed an upper? Of course I wouldn't. But that would be a legit reason to use cocaine. I mean, why not use something that's gonna actually be fun? Why not have fun while you're treating your symptoms of narcolepsy? Uh, and cocaine, it's not even like the most addictive drug or anything like that. Like, if I would say like, unless you are a cocaine addict, like unless you call yourself a cocaine addict, I would venture to say that that you know 90% of people that have tried cocaine in their lifetime uh, will not have a problem with it. They might like it a lot. They might experiment with it throughout a decade or so in their life, or they might uh, have fun with the drug and like they might use cocaine to party, but like that doesn't necessarily mean that like they're gonna have they're gonna have a hard time stopping doing the cocaine after 10 years of you know doing a bump of coke on the weekend or something like that. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's, and even if it were hard to put down, even if it were fucking like even if it were like elephant tranquilizer, like that's your right, that's your decision. Like you should not be able to be imprisoned because you decided to put a substance into your own body. Now, if you're like going around throwing like needles of heroin at people like darts or something like that, that's not, that's should definitely be illegal. In that case, that's like an attempted homicide, or you know, I would say, because you never know what's on that needle. You never, So like, unless you're just going around dextering people with like syringes of fucking ketamine, like, there's no reason why drugs should be illegal. That's like saying like that's the same reason that guns should be legal, because not they're not always used for bad things. Drugs can accentuate your life. They can give you um, they can give you perspective. I would almost say, especially like some hallucinogenic drugs. And I don't promote that you go out and trip, but if you do trip, I think that that gives you a different perspective of what was possible for your consciousness before you did. And that's true with really any drug. Until you experience something, you don't necessarily know. Until you experience something, you don't know what it's like, and uh, that's that's a huge, like, that's a big turn on for a lot of addicts. Is that's a I'll try anything once was my motto. I mean, like, uh, but that's not. I mean, that's not to say that I'm like such a pro drug person. Like, I think everybody should be shooting dope, because that's not true. Like, I hate heroin. I mean, it took away a large portion of my life. But I don't think it should be illegal. I don't think you should I don't think heroin addicts belong in prison. Nah, it's just like it's a sad way of responding to someone's, uh, I guess, masochism. I, that's really what it is, you know. Like, if the mental health, this is what really scares me about the mental health problem, and how we gun rights people say all the time, if we could just get our mental health problems under control, then guns wouldn't be an issue. If everyone were mentally stable, then guns wouldn't be a problem, you know, because we wouldn't have to worry about crazy people going off and killing people. But what scares me about that is how how I don't think the government should have any part in mental health. I think that the any kind of health industry should have there should be no government involvement in any type of health industry, because once you have a government and they want things to be by the book, or at least as by the book as it can appear, on the book. And if you do that, then you're missing out on all. Like, if you are trying to like sit down with a schizophrenic and go through a checklist of I don't know, like signals for certain mental disorders, and then you're just going through a checklist. You're not really talking to that person. You're not solving any of those people's problems. You're just identifying a threat, really, is what it comes down to. So I think that if you I don't know, it's just so fucked up. The world is so fucked up. Like, uh that's it.